Today we're gonna kickstart your highly productive journey, so let's not procrastinate and begin with 15 habits to avoid to become highly productive. Number 1. Avoid waiting for the right time. If you're waiting for all the stars to align to create the optimal environment for you to begin, then you're never going to begin. You might have heard people say there's no right time to start a family, and that's also true when it comes to kicking off a project, making a move, or breaking a habit. Productive people make good with the cards they're dealt and are able to succeed despite any challenges. If you want to be highly productive, start now. This is the right time. That being said, let's not sit around waiting for the right time and just jump into number 2. Refrain from neurotically checking your email. According to Forbes magazine, the average office worker spends 2.5 hours a day sending and receiving emails. That's an average 200 messages back and forth a day. Hitting send and receive on your email is like the 21st century version of clicking your pen. It's almost a nervous twitch. It's as if we don't feel like we're being productive if we aren't answering emails. Unless your job is literally answering emails, you're probably more productive doing the work you're meant to be doing and rather spend a small amount of time each day checking your email. If you're a lawyer, then get to writing those depositions. If you're an architect, get wrapped up in grand designs. And if you're an entrepreneur, get to working on proposals or business models or a new invention. But don't get caught up in the trap of letting emails slow you down. Number 3. Not including a call to action in your email heading. Ever been caught in the equivalent of a wormhole when it comes to emails? The type of conversation that seems to go back and forth endlessly with only vague references of what's actually going on. Avoid this by putting the action you need right in the heading of the email. For example, proposal requires your approval by Friday, or suggested changes, please send feedback by Tuesday. These are super clear. They set a time limit and assign responsibility. Try it out. And Aluxers, remember to subscribe right now because we have more videos tailor-made just for you. Number 4. Don't skip making a prioritized to-do list. To-do lists are a must, but they shouldn't just be a long list where everything from buying your niece a gift to sending updated reports to the CEO all feature the same rushed scribble. Put your list into categories: personal, work, admin, whatever works for you. Then either write the list in priority from highest to lowest or number them after you've jotted everything down. You might need to write a rough list first and then write it out again with a bit more order. It's definitely worth it. Number 5. Avoid not giving each task a set amount of time. It's a universal truth that deadlines work. If you want to be highly productive, then don't let every task have a deadline of any time in the future. Set a time limit or a deadline for yourself. For example, give yourself half a day to research industry competitors for your new business plan. Write a summary and move on. Otherwise, you'll get sucked into the rabbit hole and only emerge 30 TikTok dances and 20 HuffPo surveys later. Number 6. Don't allow members of meetings, either online or in person, to speak for more than 2 minutes. Avoid meetings that don't have someone chairing the points raised. Ahead of time, remind everyone attending they should be aware they only have 2 minutes to raise their point during the meeting. Generally, we can get our point across in a few sentences, but it's easy to let our communication get bloated, repetitive, and just downright verbose when we get handed the mic without limits. The Success Factory suggests if you come to a dead end and can't agree on a certain point, table it and assign it another meeting to come to a conclusion with only those involved. This might seem counterintuitive, but it will help keep the current agenda moving along. Number 7. Avoid not taking breaks. You might think that to be ultra-productive, you should just jump on the work train and not get off for a few hours on end. But putting in long hours doesn't always mean you get more done. According to the Well-Being Thesis, research in 2007 by Kim, Park, and New revealed that mini breaks throughout the day support well-being and increase productivity. Number 8. Refrain from eating your lunch at your desk, even if you work from home. This one is harder to shake than you think, but get up and go eat somewhere your eyes can rest, your stomach can focus on what you're eating, and your mind can unplug for a bit. It can feel uncomfortable the first few times. Your eyes kind of want to just glaze over because they're being forced to look further than a few feet in front of you. But you'll find you will feel fuller, eat less, and be more refreshed for the second part of the day. A 2016 study by Korpela, Kinnunen, Gertz, De Bloom, and Sianoha showed that taking lunchtime breaks and detaching from work increases levels of energy at work and decreases exhaustion. Number 9. Refrain from working unkempt and in your PJs. Highly successful people are not just into fashion because they can afford it. It's part of what makes them highly successful and productive. Look sharp, feel sharp. Find yourself in PJs still at 3 in the afternoon and you'll not feel like you've been highly productive, even if you were. Cooler showers, the fresh mint from your toothpaste, and a nice clean shirt sets the tone for a productive day, even if it's just at the home office. If you need more motivation, Aluxers, we've got you covered with the Mind Mastery course. We spend thousands of hours to strip away all the nonsense and give you the best return on your investment and teach you how to get the same kind of focused results. The feedback from you guys on this course has been amazing so far. Go to Alux.com/mindmastery and enroll now. Number 10. Don't skip the time management app. Time tracking is essential to boost your productivity. It's too easy to avoid knowing the facts of what your time is really spent on, but the truth is, the first few days you use a time management app, you'll probably be horrified at how little work you actually do in a workday. Think of a time management app as a really honest friend, and while the truth can hurt, it's a hell of a lot better than going out in a hideous outfit. Stay focused and remove bottlenecks in your workflow with apps like Clockify or Nutcash or Time Doctor if you work in a larger team. There are endless options, but get a good one that suits your industry and don't be afraid to invest some budget in it. You will definitely reap the rewards. Number 11. Refrain from assuming you know what someone is saying or has emailed. Nothing is more of a waste of time than skimming through an email or document. Unless you're a trained speed reader, you're not actually taking it all in, and just missing one word can be a difference of realizing you have a task to do or completely missing the instruction. There's no wonder that assumptions are the mother of all F-ups is the most practical piece of advice you can get. Read again, and ask questions if something isn't 100% clear. Don't waste time pouring effort into a piece of work you're not 100% sure was what was requested. After all, this is real life. Middle school doing your best won't cut it. Only doing what is required will. Number 12. Avoid multitasking. Multitasking should just be called as half-assing. Jumping from answering emails back into research, then a scroll on Instagram onto a group call, and then back to research is the equivalent of doing nothing but getting stressed out while doing it. Rather, create time slots for checking emails, meetings, calls, billable work, and admin, and don't deny yourself a sliver of time for social media if you enjoy it. Number 13. Don't be so busy all the time. It's handy feeling busy. It has us thinking we're getting stuff done or making money. But the truth is that being busy doesn't always mean being productive. Plus, being busy to the point of feeling stressed out can cost you money with all the rushed Ubers instead of taking the underground, and food delivery instead of cooking because you're in a flat-out spin from being so busy. Spend a week unscheduling, and then the next week putting back into your schedule what brings you productivity, joy, and relaxation. Leave yourself travel time, wardrobe change time, and time to just chill in between responsibilities and activities. Number 14. Avoid the quick fixes. Quick fixes are like shortcuts. Before you know it, you're on some dirt road in the middle of nowhere and you're 2 hours late. Get the right knowledge, team, or tools to do the job right the first time. Then that'll be the only time, and you can move forward, onward, and upwards. This goes for diet and fitness too. It's a long game of healthy choices. Make time for what is good for you and stop the stress cycle with a crammed but unproductive schedule. From there, you won't need quick fixes, but you'll be able to have the foresight for long-term goals. Number 15. Habits take time to break. Many of our bad habits are linked to the stressful lifestyles we live. They help to pacify us, for example, that nightly glass of wine, or 3. Smoking, skipping the gym and binging on junk food and watching Netflix. If you can bring down your stress first, it'll make it a lot easier to break the habit. Then you have to know your cues. If you know that if you go home after work to change for the gym, there's a higher chance that you'll skip it, then pack your bag and change at the office and head straight there. You can replace a bad habit with a good one. For example, instead of scrolling the night away on social media because you feel lonely, call a friend and chat for 20 minutes. Afterwards, you'll feel uplifted from a real connection and probably feel ready to cook or get stuck on a hobby or work on your future plans. According to Time magazine, one of the most powerful ways of quitting a bad habit is to remind yourself of why you want to stop. Good health, a happier life, and a productive living is a great place to start. So, Aluxers, what's the worst habit that you have that's standing in the way of you being productive? Share with the community in the comments. You might really help someone out. Now, since you stuck with us until the end, of course, we have a bonus. Stop comparing yourself and your progress to others. Being productive takes focus. Sure, you can be aware of what your competitors are doing, but constant comparison and tracking everyone else's move is a waste of energy. How do you plan to forge ahead if you're constantly craning your neck to the left, right, and behind? So, Aluxers, focus your attention on yourself. Save that energy for being more productive and making the right choices and decisions for your future. Thanks for watching. We're so glad you joined us today. Remember to subscribe for more great videos, and of course, we value your likes on this one.